You know how we hear the analogy of the game or the illusion or the movie or the simulation or all that stuff all the time? Well, guess what? It's whatever you call it. Each one of us is creating our own reality. So whatever you call it is your reality. Do you get that? If it's real to you, it's reality. That's it. What is reality? What's real to you? That's what reality is. Making it real. The act of making it so. Reality. Whatever you think is real. You make it so by believing it. Belief is what makes reality. Get it? It's a pretty simple equation. It's a math problem. It's pretty simple. But here's the thing. We're all those people. And I love that. I love that I know that. I love that I'm able to understand it to its intensity, to its full level. I'm glad that I've met what God is. It's not a person. It's not a ghost floating around. It's not anything like that. It's something that you cannot see. But it's everything you see. And more. In such an amazing way you can't fathom it yet until you experience it. And I'm trying to help other people experience it. And they can if they really, really would listen to me, but I'm not going to tell them they have to. I'm suggesting they should. But here's the thing, and I see it, we can call it a movie. Let's say it's a movie. I look at my life right now and I think, boy, this is such a good movie. I'm like, I really, really love the people that are in it. Even, I can go through my kids and say, man, I love him. Look at him. He's all stoned out and doing whatever he's doing in his life, posting pictures of himself with big doobies, and he's all dreaded out and tattooed, and eyes are half bloodshot, and he's got body odor going on. But I love him so much, and who cares if he's happy with himself? I'm happy with him. That's his turn. That's his turn of what he wants to do with that life, and that's what he's doing. That's his character. He picks his character. He makes him. That's it. That's all there is to it. He doesn't have to be a righteous person to be enlightened. An enlightened person doesn't do anything but not harm others and understand what's going on and creates their own future in this life. If they don't want to do anything active, then hell, they don't have to. If they want to die soon in this human life, they can. If they know they're dying or doing something like that or saying, oh, I'm going to die of cancer someday because I smoke too much, then that's what they're going to do. Why would you say that? I don't know. People don't understand. If you were enlightened, you wouldn't say that. That's the problem with that. Anyway. And then we got Oliver. He's pretty confused right now because he's not a smoker or drinker or partier, and everyone around him seems to be, and he likes his gaming, and that's his escape from the world. And guess what he is? When I was younger, I did the same thing. When I played video games, I escaped from the world. Matt's my party part. Oliver's my video gamer part. Xavier is now turning into my... I'll get to Xavier in 1 second, because Oliver's got some stuff going on right now where he wants a girlfriend, he wants all this stuff, and I love him so much. I want to just hug him and be like, dude, you're bigger than me, but you're still my big teddy bear, man. I love you. You're awesome. But he doesn't understand that because I've said this whole stuff about my spirituality. It's not like this hocus pocus woo-woo crazy stuff people always made it sound like, and because they went to church, it's led to believe them that it's a certain other thing, and they don't really believe that, but they don't know what to believe, and I've always been against it, and I get it. I've confused him, and I haven't been around, and it's not my fault that I haven't been around. I wasn't there because I wasn't able to be, and with me deprived out of his life, it's hard to, take me seriously when you see me once a week, and being used to that, now it's hard to change it, because it's a routine they're used to, and it's really heartbreaking to me to see that my kids who say they love me, and I believe they love me, just don't want to see me because it's out of their routine. And that's what's happened with him. I love him anyway. He's a character in this life. He's a character in this movie. He's a character in this game, in this whatever I want to call it. It's this most amazing thing. It's more than all those things. It's all those things and every other thing put together. And Xavier, for a while there, I thought he was getting into trouble. I thought he was going to go downhill. He was talking about suicide and all that kind of stuff. But guess what? He did like a little spiel of me all in one thing. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying in his own way, in his own version of the I, who is me, who is that. he went through the suicidal phase, he's the smoker phase, the wanting to party phase, the rap phase, every little thing that I've done in this life, and he doesn't know what he wants to do other than that, because now he's just sort of waiting for instruction. But I want him to make his own instruction, and I love him so much. I see how confused he is, but I see how he's trying not to be. So that is adorable, freaking adorable. Brianna, she's such a little sweetheart. She's got her new life and her new friends and her limited popularity, but to her it's enough because it's her reality. She's making what she believes to be real and what seems to be important, and she hasn't had me around much since she was 1. So It's really not, wasn't my choosing. I can't say that there wasn't things I could have done now that I think about it, but I would have had to surrender every thought that I had of I was right about something. And it doesn't matter anymore if I was right or wrong. It doesn't matter if Jen was right or wrong. It doesn't matter with any situation of who was right or wrong. It just matters that I love them and I'm here for them. And that if they don't want to accept that in their life, I can't force them to. But I know undoubtedly that my whole heart is with them. And I love Brianna. I wish I could show her how valuable and important she is to me, but she just doesn't listen. They can't take me seriously yet because they haven't had enough extreme experience of stuff that's meaningful and heartfelt, because they haven't been shown any of that. They haven't been really shown compassion and love. They've just been sort of let be, and it's not the greatest thing, but I'm here for them. I'm trying to help. So then we move on to Jazzy and Leo. I mean, I'm just going to say them together because they've been together with their mom now, that they're almost the same person, just one's a boy and one's a girl. I mean, not really, but it's saying they have their own individual things. Jazzy's precious and used to be really outgoing and talkative and acrobatic and all that stuff, and now she's really to herself and concealed and inward, at least to me, and she has been around everybody. But when I talked to her, I could see that sparkle in her eyes. She understood what I was talking about, but at a young age, it's so hard to understand such a complex idea. I love her. I wish I could just hold her and give her a big hug and tell her, I'm here for you. I'm your daddy. You're my little girl. What happened? I don't understand. I just didn't want her to go, just keep canceling on us and not say anything. That's a parent thing to do. So that's not anything I did wrong. It's a parent thing to do. Like, honey, you can't just go do what you want. You can't just do that. I was on my way to pick you up and you weren't there. You guys have done that time 5 or 6 times now. It's not okay. That's all I did, and that's the last time I got to talk to her, and I'm crazy. Why? Because I understand what reality is, and I could tell her mom if her mom would listen. But if I get all worked up and I can't say it in the right words, then I just seem like I'm rambling about some crazy stuff that I'm trying to put into words as Dan. Some rambling goof. That's not what it is, though. I try to get defensive because people are coming at me. It's like an attack whenever I'm around them. But I know that that's in my head and blah, 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 blah. But I can't change that yet because I see them projecting on me and I don't know how to fix it besides doing it from afar. I can't be face-to-face with them because they won't listen. I would love to sit down and have a talk with Brittany or Jen and any of them. Anybody. I'd love to sit down and have an actual talk with anybody and have them listen to me with an open mind. And they'd be like, holy shit, this guy makes complete sense. But anyway, we get back to Leo. We've got Leo. He's just so lost. He has no male figure. He's so wonderful. I felt like we were getting so close. And then he seemed like he always said something on his mind and didn't know how to say it. And then it felt like I'd have to force him to say anything, and then he'd just say anything to get it out. And it was always a rush for time because it was always everybody together when we're all together. Or we've got 3 hours, so let's get homework done, eat, watch a movie, and go. We never had time to talk. I haven't had that living together extra time that people have, just lifetime. I haven't had that in and out throughout lifetime with any of my kids once they got to a certain age of over, like, toddler, except for Matt for a couple of years. All the rest of them I had, like, toddler stage, and that was it. So they never really got to know me on a day-in, day-out basis. And even with cell phones, it's too weird for people to talk on the phone because they don't know what to talk about. Because their friends talk about the same stuff, they do the same stuff, and it would be like saying the same thing every day. And I understand that. That's why I'm trying to help everybody that I know, especially the people I love the most, my kids, my parents, my brothers. But they don't want to understand because they've been through this cycle too. And if they really listen to me, they'd see that I'm explaining it perfectly. But if their brain doesn't catch it like that, which I'm not saying that in a bad way, but if anyone doesn't catch it the way that it really is, to their understanding, then it's just going to be some rambling and maybe make some sense here and there, but it is complete sense, completely perfect sense. In a space of timelessness, we're all living together. I am my kids, I am my parents, I am my brothers, but they don't get that. I get that completely. And I could try to say it and explain it to everybody. I am everything I see. Anyway. When it gets to Jen and Brittany, I love them too. They're characters in my life. We've had magical times. But all of us together, we have. Like, not all three of us together, but me and Jen have had magical times, really fun times, exciting times. Me and Brittany have had tons of exciting times and fun times. I love them too, but the characters they were once were amazing with me, and now the characters they are now aren't. But I also caused that with my thought patterns, and their thought patterns clashed. And then they all showed throughout actions. Some get bottled up and let out like in a burst. Some are still bottled up and they won't let out because they don't know how. I've let mine out, and I want to talk to them, and I want to fix it, but they won't let me. I love them both. Not that I want to do anything with anybody. Not them, not anybody. I don't want to do anything sexual with anybody. I would, but I don't want to. I'm not worried about it. It's nothing. If I never have sex again, I'm fine with it. And especially those two. I don't, it's nothing. Sex means nothing anymore. If you don't love the person, if you don't understand, like I completely love everybody. So I would have sex with any woman, especially in this lifetime. But at the same time, that's not important at all. I don't care about that. I would want that person to know how much I care about them and love them and cherish them as who they are, who we are. We would become one. Now, when anyone has sex with me, it's like becoming one with God itself. Not me, but especially if they let themselves go and join me in our oneness, they'd see what I mean. But it's not even, I don't even know where that came from. So I just want to fix all the problems we have and show the world how much I love it. Especially my kids, especially the people that have been in my life, my mom, my dad, all the precious people around me, everyone I see. Everything is amazing. And it's not just a slogan to me. It's really how I feel. So how am I supposed to make other people feel that way? I can't until they open up their hearts. So I must struggle on forward with my head held high and my sword raised. My metaphorical sword, because I wouldn't hurt anybody, but I must pave the way for others to follow and be the light shining. Because I am love completely.